Sankta, the trigger-happy angelic race of Terra, who is known by two things: their features and their guns. Now, for some time, there has been some theories going about the authenticity of the Sankta as angels. I was also cooking up one of my own, waiting for Guiding Ahead to give us some information about it and see how right or wrong these theories were. Little did I expect for said event to not only give us ideas, but downright admit that, yep, Sankta are mechanical in some degree. I don't mean to say they are actual machines, though that will explain Federico's whole stick. What they do have is a sort of connection between each other, which they denominate as empathy, and what I can only describe as their deity. The empathy, as the name implies, allows them to understand each other to an emotional level. While not telepathy or hive mind connection, it lets them feel the emotions of their fellow Sankta, speeding up understanding without the need of many words. This, in turn, is what makes Laterano such a peaceful place. Since you can literally convey your emotions with ease, there is little need for discussions. Even if you went and sent your colleague and friend to an 8-year coma, she will call it water under the bridge and forgive you, though the friendship is pretty much over by then. This is why Fiammetta is supposedly the main character of the event. She is our point of view on how the Sankta function for an outsider. Despite her being a native of Laterano, Fiammetta is unable to understand how Sankta function as they do. Again, remembering the whole water under the bridge thing, which she clearly did not support. She is far more like us in the way she expects retribution for what was a big betrayal for one they considered a friend. Yet the Sankta can only look at her with what I can only call pity and condescend. It is not that they are petty or arrogant, but for them, this is just second nature. They cannot explain it. It is like asking a fish, how do they swim? Even Mostima, who apparently is no longer linked to her fellow Sankta, yet still understands and respects Lemoine decisions. For us, it is a completely alien concept, yet one we can connect with something in real life. Specifically, machines. Their link is not unlike that of PCs sharing data with one another. They might not share their whole memory, but the important bits and credentials needed to perform a swift data transaction. This part might be the reason why they are so rigorously with their bureaucracy. So long it's legally accepted and perform the required paperwork, you are pretty much free to do as you will. Again, not too dissimilar to computers linked by the internet, but unlike actual machines, Sankta possess personalities of their own, which determinate how do they make use of this connection. Either go with the flow, use it to have a good understanding of those working with you, or downright ignore it. Yet as any connection, there lies the possibility of someone abusing it for their own gain. Here is where we finally get to the first deity to have been properly named yet not given a physical body for us to look at, the entity Sankta Dim. While a very little glimpse was given, it is safe to assume this law is something akin to a supercomputer.
Oh, it's you.
Monitoring those connected to it and making sure they abide by the regulations set by Laterano. If said regulations were set in place before or after Laterano came to be is yet to be seen. But I wouldn't be surprised if their culture was modeled after the restrictions set by this law. While under this connection, Sankta seem to have more perks than just the empathic link, as they seem to be able to process information to a higher speed than regular ancients. This is what gives them their edge when making use of their iconic weaponry. As mentioned in the story, the problem to ask a Laterano how to shoot is that they will answer with, just do it. Like their link, the ability to quickly process the chance needed to fire a gun is what makes them so deadly with them, specifically seen in their twin Gatling gun wielding apostolic knights. This also explains why will Sankta have such a sweet tooth and a whole cuisine culture with dessert at center, because the easier way to keep a brain fast and agile is to feed it sugar, or that's how the Flanderization goes. The fuel of the rapid casting is just sugar. Back on topic. Despite all the apparent control the law has over its people, where there is a will, there is a way.
Hey, phrase it!
I would like to remind you that this saying existed long before it became as lore. As mentioned, there are those who can ignore their empathic link, either to make their duties easier or to plot against establishment.
La résistance!
The later of these cases giving us very interesting information. While the Sankta can be called a herd, in a religious way, not the insulting one, there are those wishing for change. And while they can harm their fellow Sankta directly, there seems to be workarounds to this rule. Either you can be deemed guilty if you are not sane of mind at the moment of performing your actions, like betraying your friends, or if you make use of the environment to hurt others, like a pillar falling down on someone by an explosion you caused. Otherwise, should you aim directly and harm a fellow Sankta, you will be marked for it, which will slowly turn the Sankta characteristics darker until they are pitch black, with two noticeable exceptions. First, our food enthusiast, Mostima. Despite only firing her gun once and not even killing her foe, not only was she marked with darker wings and halo, but sprung horns and a tail immediately after the deed, deeming her as a fallen. We didn't get much information about her in the event, other than a more clear picture of what happened back then. But the fact she's the only Sankta with such characteristics, and being the wielder of the lock and key, already tells us her story is far from simpler, let alone over. So for now, we have to wait even more. The second exception we found was one of the highlights of the event, where not one, but two Sankta fully aimed at each other with the resolution to harm each other, yet none of them were deemed guilty by the law. Why none of them got injured during this duel, I didn't fully understood, but that's not what I am here to examine. Personally, what I think happened was that, unlike other Sankta who have shot their own king, both Evangelista and Andonai aim at each other with full resolution and believes in their actions. Ergo, neither of them believed to be committing a crime when pulling the trigger. While Andonai admitted surprise by the results of their duel, as he expected to be marked, Evangelista explains that it means the law deemed them both as not guilty of their actions. That in itself, while reading me with even more questions, do give me a small read regarding the law. While it keeps tabs on everyone linked to it, the law doesn't seem to control their actions. It appears that its primary function is to keep order, but as long as a Sankta fully believe in what they are doing to be correct, then it will not interfere in their actions. So we can scratch a Skynet-like scenario from the apocalypse bingo that is Terra. At least from Lateran. But who knows? We were already shown a couple of loopholes in the system. How many workarounds could be there yet to be seen and exploited? But I think that's as much analysis I can make for today. Not so much a mini theory this time around, but as most side stories introducing a new region, not many answers were given, though I am still surprised they downright went and admitted the Sankta deity to be a computer of sorts. Personally, I love to get this sort of information. While not concrete, it gives us fuel to keep pondering about the world Hypergrip made, and as a theory crafter, there is no better gift. Well, maybe some likes and subscribes from your part. I'm still a YouTuber after all. For now, I have more pondering to do. So in the meantime, this has been Dr. Blob, wishing you all a great day. And as always, stay healthy everyone.